Okay, so hello everybody. This is Diana from Matrix Alchemia, and tonight we have an interview with the beautiful Monika from Rainbow Vibrations. I have known Monika for, gosh, many years. Um, Funny enough, we share the same birthday. We always have a laugh, saying that I'm younger and she's wiser. Um, so, Monika, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, a bit about my background. I moved to UK about 15 years ago now. But even prior to that, I was always interested in more spiritual side of life. I was always reading books. I mean, our library wasn't very big, but I always was looking for books on with different things like, qigong, breathing, meditation. But after I moved to UK, I got lost for a while, trying to find myself. Took me many years to realize that I didn't go anywhere. I was always here. I was just covered with, different things that I had to go through in order to rediscover myself. And for quite a few years, I was struggling, going through journeys of the underworld until I got to the point to realize that I needed to change something. And I started meditating again and just looking any different techniques or ways that would help me on this journey. And that's how I came across sound therapy as well. This is what I do now, sound healing with gongs and Himalayan singing bowls. And once I discovered that, I realized that this was the right vehicle for me, and it helped me tremendously. And that's why I then decided to start searching for how to use it and training. I was able to offer these vehicles to the others as well.
So you were saying that you've been looking around and you've been trying all sorts of things, like, all of us being on our own journey, trying to, I guess, feel into what makes sense for you. What did, what happened? I mean, out of all the therapies that you've been trying for yourself, what exactly made you stop at the therapy, the sound therapy, or what makes you not necessarily stop there, but what you know brought you in that sound environment? Were you quite musical when you were young? So was music part of it? Was sound part of your life?
Music was part of it. My dad played trumpet, mum played piano when she was younger. I went to music school for a couple of years to play guitar. But sound itself, sound therapy has not, you don't have to be musical in order to be a sound therapist. Sound is non-organized music. But someone gave me, when I was going through all these struggles myself, someone gave me a CD of singing bowls. And it just, how it made me feel listening to that CD. And it kind of led me to buy my first singing bowl, which was like kind of like this big. And then I bought the second one, and I bought the third one, and I was just experimenting and totally mesmerized by the sound. And a year after I got my first CD, I came across a treatment in London. It was called singing bowl massage. And there was an option to have gongs after, kind of a longer treatment with gongs. And I was like, I don't know what gongs are, but I'll give it a go for the extended treatment. And I mean, the singing bowls themselves were amazing, but the first sound of the gong, and it's like the sound of that calls you back home. And in that moment, I was like, this is it. This is absolutely it.
Yeah, it sounds, I mean, I'm nodding, and I'm totally relating, because obviously I have experienced quite few sessions with the singing bowl massage and the gongs, and even while I was pregnant. And it's just one of those amazing therapies, just leaves you uplifted in so many ways. You can't even begin to understand what's been happening. uh,
Mm.
if anything, you are completely relaxed. And that's one of the things, obviously, that I was looking for, having a stressful life, and then obviously with the pregnancy, a bit of self-care. So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit, because you were saying about the gongs and you were saying about the singing bowl massage. So,
Hmm.
and you were saying that it could be like combined. So tell us, how do you support people? Do you do one or the other? Do you do both? How does it work?
Um, lately, in the last probably a year or so, I've mainly been supporting people through group sessions. I run either regular monthly events, or I also work with yoga teachers. I work, with private groups, mental health, learning disabilities. So it's kind of different settings, but mainly with groups. And that is kind of, the gongs are the big part, with other gentler singing bowls and other percussive instruments. So it gives you the dynamics of the sounds going over you, and then kind of grounding with gentler sounds. Um, I do occasionally work in one-to-one sessions as well, which is very then personalized for the person, what they're going through in their life, what's happening, what they want to achieve out of treatments. But in anything, is it group, is it one-to-one, the sound is only the vehicle for people to do their work. It helps you on your own journey to wholeness.
I love it, the way you express it, and it's this beautiful, um, humble attitude, because you are creating this amazing, amazing space that I've experienced it so many times. But you're always stepping back and you're always allowing the sound to do the work. But you are primarily the vessel, isn't it? You bring in the sound through. Um,
But the sound itself is also, the vessel for the people. It's not, the sound is not going to do anything to you, or, you know, you're not a passive. You are, in a sense, a passive because you lie down, but what the sound does on a different level, you still have to do, you kind of have to be active in on that journey.
yeah. So tell us, Monica, because I think a lot of people think that when you become a therapist and you learn to do something, you can
Hmm.
just do it like that, and there's no preparation involved. There's no nothing to be done. You just show up and you play the gongs, and everything seems to be just flowing. Tell us a bit about actually how much work it goes in.
Well, most of my events, the ones that I organize, my monthly events, have chocolates involved as well.
Yummy.
Um, so I make raw chocolates at home. So that is probably, let's say, a couple of hours every week. Then I kind of tune into the energies of the group that's going to be attending. Um, and I write the guided meditation. I also tune into the energies, and I read a lot about what's happening, like with the seasonal journey, moon journey. And I use that to guide me also to what I write, what I talk about, and how I play. And then, prior to the event, there is a lot of work involved setting up everything and make the space kind of warming and inviting for people when they arrive. Often my husband helps me with that. And then afterwards, there is also time. I'm there for people if they want to talk to me or share with me anything, because not everyone wants to talk in the group.
Hmm.
They prefer kind of personal, just one-to-one. And after packing everything, putting everything away, I'm also available for after, for a few days. People might still contact me and want to talk about their experience. and share what happened or how it affected them. So you could say it stretches over quite a few days just for one gong meditation.
So it's not just like a one of those events, you post them on Facebook and you get people to book in, you show up, you play your gongs, and you go home and everything is fine.
Yeah, no, yes. Yeah, part of it, but then there is other
Yeah,
part
so
that's usually
yeah,
unseen.
okay.
Yeah.
Because what I want to raise awareness about is actually how much work is involved in creating healing spaces of any kind,
Mm.
with any therapies. So please, Monica, tell us a bit about how long you've been doing this for. Because I'm guessing you haven't trained yesterday or last year.
No. So the first singing bowl I bought, the little one I mentioned earlier, was in January 2010. So it's been 10 years since I bought my first singing bowl, and then the first year I was just kind of learning by myself and watching videos on YouTube and reading about it. And then I started looking into trainings and went on my first training. So it's been just under 10 years, really.
Yeah. So a long journey.
Yes, a long journey. And the last couple of years, I've done over 100 events in a year, seen over 1,000 people at those events, or one-to-one treatment. So
Beautifully. So you were
yeah,
saying that you're supporting people through the group work
yeah.
and you're supporting people with one-to-one. So when you do one-to-one, what do you do exactly? Are you still doing the same, like what's the setup with the gong meditation? People come in and obviously they sit down or they lie down and you're just playing the gongs and you create a space. What happens when you do a one-to-one?
It depends if they want to have a singing bowl massage, or if they want to have gong meditation, or if they want to have combined. Obviously, I set up differently. If it's singing bowls only, or if it's singing bowls with gongs, I have a massage table, which I slightly adapted. So I have shelves under the table for the singing bowls as well. So it kind of cocoon, singing bowls are under you and around you and on you. I put the singing bowls on the body. Um, if it's just gongs, obviously there is no massage table involved. I send clients consultation form before the first treatment,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have a consultation before the treatment to see, kind of what they've answered on consultation for, and just kind of talking to see where they are and what's been happening, what drew them to the sound. And after the treatment, there is again space for people for clients to share, to ask any questions, to gently ground themselves before they then depart. And again, I'm available for any phone calls or emails if they have any queries afterwards as well.
So from your experience now that, just under 10 years, from your experience, what does sound therapy do? How does it help people?
Well, it really is so unique to each person that it's hard to say generically, you know. Um, but from my own perspective, so I can share how I've
Mhm.
experienced it. For me, it really helped me over through the years, and it's still helping me, obviously, to kind of, like I said earlier, it's that vehicle. So it's driving me forward on a daily basis. It helps me when I need to relax, when I need to gather my thoughts, when I need to see clearly what's happening in my life, um, when I need to energize myself. It has kind of really strange effect that after the whole hour you feel oh, I just woken up from my sleep, and you're kind of all sleepy, and about 20 minutes later you're full of energy,
Mm.
where that energy came from. And it feels that I've done such a huge shift in that these 10 years that it's just hard to explain, you know, like people like to say, oh, it helps with this, it helps with that, and it's, but the biggest benefit of sound therapy is that it helps to reduce the stress, because it helps you in that meditative state, relaxes. And as we know, stress is one of the biggest kind of what causes disease nowadays. So if just helps you to distress, then everything else, it's like a cascading, everything else starts affecting other things. And
Yeah, so you beautifully kind of walked into my next question, which was, uh, I love the synchronicity. So my next question was to do with how do you support yourself? And I guess in a way you offer this therapy as a business, as a your
mm-hmm,
spiritual business, supporting people, supporting yourself. But it sounds to
mm,
me like this is your, you know, your path as well. So you're leaving this as much as you share it and offer it to other people.
well, you do have to walk your walk if if you're really authentic. But I'm not perfect. I follow the wagon very often. I will daily use the singing bowl in the morning or in the evening. Just sit with it, with the sound, really listening to the sounds, because it helps you with the listening skills as well. And I will do that daily for a while, and something's going to happen, and it's just going to be, 2 weeks later, pick up the singing bowl again at home for my practice. So, it's like anything. None of us are perfect, and as much as I would like to do it on a daily basis, it doesn't always happen, as long as it kind of balances itself out over a longer period of time.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I absolutely love about you when we talk about anything. You are very real and very authentic, you know, and putting your hand up and saying, you know, I'm not perfect. And I think that, you know, it takes humility to do that, but
Mm,
it takes a person to be, you know, aware of themselves and where they are, and you know,
mm.
the mark of a great therapist. So is there anything else that you do besides for yourself, for example? So let's share some tips with people, because obviously you have certain things that you probably do, okay, not on a daily basis, because you know
Mm.
I don't do things on a daily basis either, with all the will in the world. um but what things do you do to support yourself? What things do you do, even if it's not every day, but maybe every week or regularly, or when you remember, to get yourself from, you know, situation when you're stuck, or you don't see a way out, or you burnt out, maybe, you know, because a lot of people nowadays do suffer with stress related stuff, burning out. They don't stop, they carry on doing, they're
Mm.
working, and it's when you are self-employed, like you and
Mhm.
like me and like other people,
Yeah.
you tend to work a lot, um,
Mm.
and boundaries are a bit blurry sometimes. So
Yeah.
what do you do to support yourself, let's say on a regular basis ish?
For me, what is very important is a routine. When you're self-employed, working from home a lot, the routine and being organized is what gets me through each day. That I know what I need to do, so I do it. So I don't drag my working day late into the evening, late into the night on it happens occasionally if something needs to be done, but as long as it's not day after day after day, week after week. So routine, knowing at least, you know, these times is really hard to say, but at least roughly what's happening, when's happening. I mean, since this whole situation with the virus, you know, hit the fan, um, I was for 2 weeks really lost because the changes were happening on a daily basis. And as much as I'm much better with changes, when they're happening with such a huge scales and so rapidly, I didn't have any rhythm to my day. And I was quite lost for a couple of weeks, really just trying to find something that works, something doesn't work. I'm finally finding some rhythm, which, you know, might be gone in 3 days, we don't know. But that really helps me. Another thing is journaling. I was for quite many years, I was like, oh, I need to do it, I need to do it, need to do it. And then, you know, at some point I finally start doing it, and it really helps just to get everything that's happening in the head out on the paper. As I mentioned earlier, it can be like 5-minute meditation in the morning or in the evening with singing bowls. Um, breathing, like a very, you know, slow breath, continuous breath, can help at any point in the day, wherever you are. If you suddenly start feeling overwhelmed, just stop, you know, look around, find the breath, slow it down, very deep, slow breathing. What for me, you know, everyone's different, but I find that I also need to regularly exercise and have my own solitude time, because silence is very important in sound healing. That is the time when we integrate our healing, when we integrate all the changes. So silence and solitude is something that recharges me a lot.
Beautiful. Yes. I have to relate to that as well, although I don't necessarily do sound therapy. But yes, the
Mm,
silence and I guess the time that you spend with the introspection and the contemplation is very
mm,
important, as much as, you know, being out in the world and doing things. Um,
yeah.
yeah, alone time sometimes is very difficult to find. Tell us a bit about, I know you were talking about during the week, and you know it is difficult to find time and alone time when you're working together. Tell us about your project, about your work that you do with your husband Paul, because I think it's really important for people to be aware of what's available and how much you know you are doing for community.
Yeah, so we have, with my husband, we have a business. It's a social enterprise, and it's called Twin Wave. And we kind of bring together the energizing drumming that my husband does with relaxing sound meditation I do. So it's kind of, again, you know, two sides. Because we need that energizing kind of expressing, and then we need quiet time for relaxing and reflection. So it's quite an interesting combination. And so we work, you know, we work with businesses, we work with mental health groups, we work with schools, festivals, and which obviously everything is kind of a bit on hold at the moment due to the situation. Um, but it's interesting because there is a lot, you know, when we are great when we're out delivering, but when two people who are very different in their approach to work and in character, you know, there is a lot of um, flexibility there needs to be to the day, and compromise, and really playing to your strengths and your skills in order to actually work like that.
Yeah, very much so. And let me guess,
Yeah.
not every day is a great day, is it?
No, no, definitely not.
No. So,
No.
excuse me. So let's, I guess, dismantle a myth and dispel a myth that as a
Mhm.
therapist, you got everything figured out.
Wish.
Okay. And that you've done all your healing.
Mm, wish as
You've
well,
done,
but then, that would be the end then probably.
you've done all your personal growth, and there's nothing else for you to learn.
Nah, I'm forever student.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I wanted you to say, although we didn't coach
Yeah.
beforehand. But there's something that, I absolutely love when you say that, I am a forever student, and we all are.
Mm.
So thank you
Yeah,
so much. Yeah.
we're kind of teachers and students in the same
Yes, indeed.
kind of moment, isn't it? Yeah.
Indeed. So where can people find you? I mean, I'm going to, post the links underneath, but
Mm.
let tell us where you present. Do you have an online presence? What do you do? Oh, maybe tell us about what you do right now with the virus and everything else going around, and you not being able to, do events as in, face-to-face events.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of felt we were going down this route few weeks before it started happening. And I was kind of already thinking about that, what to do. So I've moved my gong meditations online. I am not offering live streams on Facebook of gong meditations because they're all Zoom. Zoom is used a lot because the sound of the gongs, it's really hard to capture digitally. And if it's live stream and the internet connection is not good on my side, on the client side, and everything is freezing, the video and everything, it kind of loses its benefit. So I'm actually pre-recording gong meditations, and then clients have access. I give them access for 3 days. They can download the meditation as well as the audio file and listen to the later stage. I'm very lucky that my husband has equipment and he's very good with the sound editing. So he's my sound engineer at the moment. So so I offer some regular pre-recorded sessions that I would usually do events like full moon, new moon, wheel of the year. And I also have a Facebook group where it's a safe space for people to share, talk about. I offer 3 times per week like free emotional and mental support to people that they can contact me and talk to me. I've also offer free guided meditations or singing bowl meditations in there, like a shorter version, not the long ones. And while we don't have any face-to-face contact, I will be also offering online mentoring and guidance, one-to-one sessions to people. And we're also doing a lot of recording with my husband, which we've been talking for ages that we wanted to do. So we have opportunity. We have recorded our first track last week, kind of
Beautiful.
entranced, yes, music.
Great.
So that will
Great,
be
because
available
I
as
know you
well.
already have a CD
Yes,
that
well,
you put
that's
together.
more sound therapy CD, but
Yeah.
this is with the drumming added and the flutes, so it's a bit different
Oh,
kind of.
beautiful. Looking forward to listen to that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So where can we find you, Monika?
So I have a website which is rainbowvibrations.com. I have a Facebook page again under Rainbow Vibrations, and Instagram, same name. And there is a Facebook group, Rainbow Vibration Journey to Wholeness, that you can also join. And it has a bit more community feel, not just a page where you see things and they
Mhm.
pass you by then.
Well, thank you very much, Monika, for coming and doing the interview with me today. And thank you so much for sharing a few of the things. And thank you very much for showing up as, just a normal human being, um, going through the
Yeah.
journey of life that you know, is taking one day at a time, but also supporting people in the best way um, possible. So thank you very much.
Thank
And
you,
thank
Anna,
you.
for inviting me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And thank you everybody for watching. I will be placing the links underneath the video. Please feel free to get in touch with Monika. We'll have the website and the Facebook and the Instagram links, so you can get in touch with her with no problems whatsoever. Thank you very much, and that's it from us tonight. Bye bye.
Bye.